Hello, welcome back to PTC'25. I'm here with Bjorn Brynjulfsson, CEO of Boralis Data Center. Bjorn, I hope I got your last name right there. I think I almost nailed it. But
yeah.
How's PTC going for you so far this year?
It's been going very well.
Cool.
It's my first time here actually.
Oh, yeah.
So I'm both enjoying the conference and the location.
Yeah, me too, very much.
Yeah.
It's better than London. So where are you guys based, Boralis Data Centers? Can you just introduce?
Yeah, so Borealis is a Nordic data center operator operating out of Iceland.
Mm-hmm.
We've been operating for 10 years roughly out of that location. We currently operate 3 campuses, all of them targeted towards a large scale in Iceland. And we recently acquired a site in Finland to fuel our growth even further and have our eyes on the Nordics in general.
Yeah, well, let's talk a little bit about the Icelandic market, I guess, because we all hear all the time the Nordics is a great place for data centers. You've got the climate, you've got the renewable power, but I feel like Sweden, Norway tend to be kind of like the main beneficiaries of that conversation. Is it similar dynamics at play in Iceland as well?
Yeah, it is similar. To some extent, we are a bit further away. I mean, we're an island, but through improved infrastructure, we recently had a new fibre cable coming online that is directly connecting Iceland to Dublin. Mm-hmm. We sometimes refer ourselves becoming sort of the digital suburb of Dublin as a consequence. We're only 10 milliseconds away from the key market there. And the nice thing for me as a data center operator is that in Dublin you have everyone popping. So you have all of the big connectivity providers, you have all of the hyperscalers there. So from a connectivity standpoint, it's a good addition.
That makes sense. So we're seeing this kind of like trend playing out across different continents, right? Of you've got your big hubs, say like Singapore, obviously the US, and now with like the kind of requirement for power and the constrained nature of some of those markets, we're seeing like Singapore plus in Johor or US plus in like Mexico, Brazil, or Canada potentially. So are you seeing kind of like maybe a similar thing playing out there in terms of, obviously Ireland's quite a challenging market right now, or Dublin rather. Is Iceland have potential to kind of like pick up some of that capacity?
Absolutely, and to some extent we're in an industry that is nice in the sense that it's easy to move data. Mm-hmm. I mean, moving data through fiber optics is cost effective, happens instantaneously, and if you compare that, for example, with moving energy far away, that's much more costly, much more challenging, and from sort of today's reality regarding permitting and zoning for high voltage power cables, it's much easier to move the data and move the data centers closer to the source of the energy. And I think, to your point, that's what we're seeing across the globe to some extent. Yeah,
100%. Well, tell us a little bit more about the kind of like renewable energy landscape within Iceland.
Yeah, so we are in a phenomenally good position in that regard. So we have 70% of our energy is hydro, 30% is geothermal. Mm-hmm. So the carbon footprint of that is very low. Yeah. And then we are starting to use wind as well, building up our capacity there into the future. So everything on the grid is 100% renewable.
Okay. And has that kind of led to, you're seeing kind of like hyperscaler or other kind of like tenants like looking at that energy profile and thinking Iceland is a place for us to go?
Yeah, we're seeing more and more companies looking at that profile as a favorable profile in today's market with the AI picking up so drastically. We're seeing all sorts of customers that are into that business looking towards Iceland and essentially putting their workloads there. I would say Iceland and the Nordics in general are a perfect fit for high density workloads. Yeah. We're currently running, for example, 50 kilowatts per rack in a direct free air cooling manner, where we have tight controls on the cold air temperature fully within the ASHRAE standard, but doing it with a free cooling methodology.
Okay, that's really good.
Extremely low PUE, so pretty much all your energy is directed to running a compute.
Yeah, fantastic. What else have you guys had to do to kind of like change and adapt to this new high density environment?
I would say we've had as a company for the past 10 years, we've generally been running high density workloads with a lot of power per rack, but we've been upgrading it. We've been increasing the quality of the controls to better accommodate workloads that are going into the 50 kW per rack. But then now into the future, we'll be looking more into doing DLC also, so bringing on liquid cooling as well.
do you see that as like a, you know, maybe like kind of retrofitting existing facilities within the market, or are you looking at building new data centers specifically for liquid cooling?
It's a very good question. I would say both. At least for us as a company, we see both. We have been building out or upgrading facilities to support air-cooled setups now, because there is a demand for that. But the facilities that we have in an air-cooled manner, we can upgrade them to a DLC solution later.
Got it. That makes sense. And you mentioned Finland as well. It's like a new market for you guys. Very exciting. What can you tell us about kind of that expansion plan? What's happening in Finland?
Yeah, like I said earlier, our focus is on the Nordics in general, because we are strong believers in the operational environment, so to say, lower total cost of ownership, and that applies in Finland as well. So we went into a site in Kajaani in Finland, where we already have a footprint there today that has been running for a long time. The Lumi supercomputer, which is one of the bigger supercomputers or bigger green supercomputers in the world, is running there. So you have a lot of know-how in the area, you have the operational capabilities, and we're currently building there a relatively sizable DLC deployment. We'll have that ready and operational in mid of summer. It's essentially hosting 130 kW per rack, so it's like the latest generation of NVIDIA equipment that we are targeting. Long-term plan for us, we intend to grow there and just increase our footprint in Finland and Iceland as a whole, and likely to the other Nordics as well.
Okay, so Sweden and Norway are on the roadmap for you guys at some point?
Yeah, I would say the Nordics in general.
Okay. Is there any like timelines around when you expect to move into Sweden or Norway?
This year we're highly focused on expanding our existing campuses. So we have a plan in place to significantly increase our capabilities there, and are building at the moment. But we'll see next year.
Okay, that makes sense. Well, yeah, thanks very much for chatting with us today. Very much appreciate it. And thank you to everyone for watching at home as well. Make sure you check out thetechcapital.com for more news, views, and industry insights.